On July 23, 1851, the Treaty of Traverse des Sioux between the Sisseton and Wahpeton bands of Dakota and the U.S. government transferred ownership of much of southeastern Minnesota Territory to the United States. Along with the Treaty of Mendota, signed that same year, it opened 24 million acres of land to immigrant settlers. For the Dakota, these treaties marked another step in a process that increasingly marginalized them and dismissed them from the lands that had been their home. After the Dakota leaders had signed 2 copies of the treaty, they were directed to a third piece of paper held by Joseph R. Brown, a prominent fur trader. The document, known as the Trader's Paper, directed the government to pay off various debts claimed by white fur traders using the money owed to the bands from the treaty. No one read the paper aloud or translated it for the Dakota, many of whom believed it was to be another copy of the treaty. Deception was not an uncommon tactic for government officials during treaty signings. The price to be paid to the Dakota, promised by the treaty, was $1,665,000, or about 7 cents per acre. However, in reality, that amount was never received by the tribes. Congress and the President decided to disperse the funds as follows: $1.36 million in an annuity fund that would pay about 5% each year for 50 years. Other money was set aside for different funds: Education Fund, $6,000, Goods and Provisions Fund, $10,000, a cash annuity of $40,000, and a Civilization Fund of $12,000. The Civilization Fund, the fund taken from the proceeds of the treaty itself, paid white missionaries and church leaders to partner with the federal government to establish schools in Indian territories to teach Native children to replace tribal practices with Christian practices. The principal itself was never to be paid. Out of the remaining amount, about $305,000, including $68,000 in interest, $30,000 was allocated to build farms, schools, mills, blacksmith shops, and $210,000 was divided up by some of the traders. You know, the ones who duped the Native leaders into signing the Trader's Papers? Dicks. Forced onto small tracts of land with less than they were promised, the Dakota became further dependent on a government that was less than willing to honor agreements. In the end, the Treaty of Traverse des Sioux failed to contribute to a sustainable life for the Dakota.